afraid. I'm about to kill someone. Family's in the house.
No. Huh?
Hey! Hey!
Hello, I'm about to kill someone. These chilling words were uttered by 26-year-old Davis Bahrami. This incident occurred on the morning of June 30th in Contra Costa County, California, USA, and became a memorable event that captured the attention of the entire country. This video will provide a detailed analysis of Bahrami's final moments, the police department's statements, and the potential causes of this tragic event. If you're ready, let's embark on this challenging but important journey. That dark morning, a threatening call and a tense. Wait, on the morning of June 30th, at an unknown hour local time, a phone call to the police department station changed everything. The voice on the line belonged to Davis Bahrami, and the words were chilling. "Hello, I'm about to kill someone." This call immediately triggered a massive alarm. Police officers quickly dispatched to Bahrami's area and positioned themselves to secure the perimeter. The first priority was to contain the situation and prevent a potential disaster. The area was cordoned off, residents were warned, and a tense standoff ensued. After confirming Bahrami's address and analyzing the surrounding area, the teams began gathering information from a vantage point. The goal was to resolve the situation with minimal disruption, but they were unaware of the magnitude of the challenge ahead. Communication efforts and denied help. Given the sensitivity of the situation, police officers decided to contact Bahrami directly by phone. A tense and challenging conversation ensued with the 26-year-old man, lasting approximately 15 minutes. The officer demanded that Davis remove his family members from the house and ensure their safety. However, Bahrami's response was clear and surprising. "I can't do that." At this point, a statement from the police department revealed an even more complex aspect of the situation. The statement explained that the Angelo Quinto Crisis Response Team, which specializes in mental health issues, had not been dispatched to Bahrami's home due to safety concerns previously. This raised critical questions, such as the inadequacy of mental health support systems and the prioritization of risk assessment at the scene. This decision would later spark much debate. The police attempted to reach Bahrami's family by phone, but their efforts were unfortunately unsuccessful. Communication channels were down, and a clear understanding of the situation inside the house was unavailable. In an attempt to de-escalate the situation and gain control, the officer asked Bahrami to leave the house and sit on the sidewalk. This was a classic police tactic, to take the suspect out into the open and minimize the risks. However, Davis's subsequent words would further complicate the situation. Wrist cuts and confusing statements. As the phone call continued, Bahrami made a startling confession. "I cut my arm and it was accidental." Upon hearing this information, the officer immediately asked Bahrami if he needed an ambulance. However, Bahrami's answers confused the officers. According to police reports, Bahrami made vague statements indicating that he wanted the officer to harm him. These statements revealed Bahrami's fragile and unstable mental state. His propensity for self-harm and his pursuit of death further fueled questions about whether this incident was a suicide attempt or the result of a tragic mental health crisis. According to videos released by the department, the officer spent approximately 15 minutes working diligently to de-escalate the situation and reassure Bahrami. During this time, other officers on the scene, staying out of sight of Bahrami's home, deployed a cutting-edge tool to locate him without putting themselves at risk: a drone. Drone footage played a critical role in determining movement within the home and Bahrami's approximate location. This technology has become an increasingly popular tool in police operations, enabling remote observation. Police requests and confusion. During the call, Davis repeatedly told the officers he needed them. When the officer asked Davis how many officers he wanted, he replied, 4 officers. This strange request was contradictory, suggesting that Bahrami was both seeking help and simultaneously wanting to confront the officers. The officers insisted that Bahrami move to the sidewalk to more easily subdue him. This was a crucial part of the operation, as intervening in an open area would be safer for both the officers and Bahrami. However, whenever the officers requested that Bahrami speak with his family members, Davis flatly refused. This raised new questions about Bahrami's relationship with his family members or his desire to keep them out of the situation. As the call progressed, Bahrami's statements became increasingly shocking and alarming. He told the police he had a knife and wanted to kill his neighbor. When the police officer asked him why he wanted to kill him, Bahrami simply replied, "I don't know." This response demonstrated how irrational and out of control the situation was. Interestingly, Bahrami spoke rationally, as if he were conscious, while at the same time, he spoke as if he were about to suddenly lose control. This clearly demonstrated the complexity and volatility of his mental state. One moment, he acted like a sane individual, and the next he spoke in ways that suggested he was on the verge of a crisis. This made the situation even more challenging and unpredictable for the officers. The encounter and the tragic end. Realizing the gravity of the situation, the police officers strategically positioned themselves on a street corner near Bahrami's home. They asked him to come to the end of the street to speak with them. Drone footage clearly showed Davis complying with this request and then beginning to walk toward the officer's location. This moment was the critical turning point in the entire incident. As Davis approached the officers told him to stop and get on the ground. However, Bahrami refused to comply. Instead, he pulled a knife from his waistband and began running toward the officers. This was a sudden and life-threatening situation for the officers. One officer fired a less lethal foam round to intervene. However, according to police reports, the round was ineffective. Bahrami continued to advance toward the police with the knife, at which point 2 officers opened fire, subduing him. While this is a last resort, a life-saving intervention, it always has tragic consequences. Even after he was on the ground, video footage showed Bahrami still holding the knife and refusing to let go. The officers repeatedly told him to drop the knife, or they would be unable to provide immediate medical attention. However, Bahrami ignored these warnings. After a short while, Bahrami was found to have lost consciousness due to blood loss. A police officer then quickly kicked the knife away and secured it. This was a critical step taken by officers, considering both their own safety and the potential for additional danger. Police officers, followed by paramedics who quickly arrived at the scene, performed life-saving interventions on Bahrami. However, despite their best efforts, Davis Bahrami tragically died at the scene. Initial investigations at the scene determined that Bahrami's family was safe in the house, and no other injuries were reported. This was the only positive aspect of the tragedy. Aftermath and questions. The police department announced that, as per protocol, the officers involved in the incident have been placed on paid administrative leave. This is standard procedure in such incidents and ensures an impartial investigation. The shooting is being thoroughly investigated by the Contra Costa County District Attorney's Office and the Antioch Police Department's Bureau of Investigation. Because this incident occurred recently, we don't know the full details. However, my personal opinion, and this is only a guess, is that Davis Bahrami likely suffered from mental health issues. Attacking armed officers is an act that could be committed by someone who is either mentally ill or suicidal. In this video, I've tried to share Davis Bahrami's story and the details of this tragic incident. I want to reiterate how seriously mental health issues should be taken. What are your thoughts on this? Don't forget to share them in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so you can stay informed about important content like this. See you in the next video. Take care.